Long ago, in a land of magic and mighty rulers, there was a powerful king named Ronan. He had everything: wealth, a grand kingdom, and loyal warriors. But there was one thing he wanted most: a son to inherit his throne. When his wife, Queen Zarina, gave birth to a daughter, the king's joy turned to anger. He saw a girl as weak, unworthy of ruling his kingdom. "A daughter!" he shouted. "She is weak. She can never rule." The queen held her baby close, but she knew the king's heart was cold. Queen Zarina held her baby tightly. "She is your child," she begged. But the king did not listen. He ordered the guards to take them away. The heavy dungeon doors opened, and the guards threw them inside. It was dark and cold. The queen hugged her baby and whispered, "One day, you will be free." Years passed, and the dark dungeon became Zaya's home. But instead of growing weak, she grew strong. Her mother and stepmother trained her every day. She learned to fight with wooden sticks, move silently, and listen carefully. They taught her not just strength, but wisdom too. A true leader needs both courage and wisdom, Queen Zarina said. But in Zaya's heart, a fire burned. She would not stay in the darkness forever. One day, she would escape. One day, she would make her father pay. After years of training in the dark dungeon, Zaya had become a strong warrior. One night, she made her escape. The air was cold, and the huge castle stood behind her like a giant watching over the land. She moved quickly and quietly, her heart beating fast. Every step she took was a step toward freedom. At last, she crawled out of a hidden tunnel and stood outside for the first time in years. The world stretched before her, wide, open, and full of unknown dangers. She was free, but she was also alone, with a long journey ahead. Zaya wandered through villages and towns, searching for warriors to stand with her. But fear ruled the land. People turned away, afraid to even speak against the king. His army was too strong, and his power was absolute. No one dared to challenge him. With every door that closed, Zaya's hope faded a little more. She had escaped the dungeon, but she was still alone. Tired and hopeless, Zaya walked deep into the forest. The trees were tall and dark, their branches twisting like giant hands. She could walk no more and fell to the ground under an old tree. Then, a strange roar filled the air. It was loud and full of pain. From the shadows, a huge creature appeared, a dev. He was part man, part beast, with glowing marks on his body. He held his foot, groaning in pain. A large thorn was stuck deep in it. Zaya was afraid, but she stepped closer. Gently, she pulled the thorn out. The dev let out a mighty roar, shaking the trees around them. His fiery eyes met Zaya's, but this time they were not filled with pain. They were filled with gratitude. "You have freed me," he said, his deep voice rumbling like thunder. "For that, I will give you a gift." He reached into the folds of his tattered sash and pulled out an ancient lamp. It shimmered faintly, covered in strange markings. "Whenever you light this lamp," he said, placing it in her hands, "I will come to help you, no matter where you are." Zaya held the lamp tightly, feeling its warmth. Hope sparked inside her. She was no longer alone. With new strength and courage, Zaya marched back to the palace. She was no longer a helpless child. She was a warrior. She stepped into the grand hall, her eyes locked on the king. He sat on his throne, unaware of what was coming. Zaya stood tall, her voice strong. "The time has come," she said. "Justice will be served." She lifted the ancient lamp and lit the flame. At once, the wind roared, shaking the castle walls. The ground trembled beneath her feet. Then, from the sky, a deafening roar filled the air. The Dev had arrived. Towering over the battlefield, his fiery eyes burned with fury. The king's soldiers stepped back in fear. The battle was about to begin. The king's army trembled as the mighty Dev roared, his glowing eyes burning with rage. With each powerful strike, soldiers fell, their weapons clattering to the ground. Fear spread through their ranks like wildfire. One by one, they turned and ran, too afraid to face the beast. The once powerful army was no more. King Ronan watched in horror as his men abandoned him. His strength drained away, and he fell to his knees, powerless. The ruler who once showed no mercy now faced his own defeat. Zaya gazed into her father's eyes and saw something she had never seen before: fear. He was no longer the mighty king, but a broken man. She gripped her sword tightly, knowing she had the power to end his rule forever. But deep inside, she felt something different. She took a deep breath and lowered her sword. "I will not become like you," she said firmly. The battle was over, but a new journey had begun. With kindness and wisdom, Zaya took the throne. She ruled with justice, bringing peace to the kingdom. Under her reign, the land flourished, and the people, once afraid, lived with hope once more.